Lefties are losing their minds over Trump's cabinet picks. And I'm not talking about his gold kitchen. That was a cabinet joke. Let's get right into it. Let's see Erin Burnett lose her mind. I think Lefty's new theme song should be that Pixies Where's My Mind song. It's a good song. Okay, let's see what's happening over here with Erin. Erin, what's going down?
Out front tonight, Trump tapping yet another television personality to join his administration. This time, Dr. Mehmet Oz. Trump naming the TV doctor to oversee Medicare and Medicaid for more than 160 million Americans. Now, Oz, of course, is a household name. He does not have experience, though, running any sort of a large government bureaucracy or institution of any way. So why did Trump choose him?
My friend, Dr. Mehmet Oz. He's a great man. Dr. Oz, I've known him a long time. His show is great.
Oh, look at her. Oh, Erin. It gave Erin Burnett here something to grimace about. And I think she enjoys that. I think she enjoys grimacing. Why did Trump pick Dr. Oz? Maybe because Trump loves very successful, with it, common sense, practical, can-do people. Not only that, Dr. Oz is a physician, an author, a professor, former political candidate. He has much success in many, many areas, including medicine. And that is why Trump has picked him to be the next administrator of the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid. To her first point, which is totally absurd, because anybody who's done anything at one time, you didn't do that thing. So I'm a mom, but before I was a mom, I wasn't a mom. Weird how that works, right, Erin? Before you worked for CNN, Erin, you didn't work for CNN. Isn't that crazy? So what happens in life is that before you get a position, you don't have the position. But then once you have that position, you have the position. But the problem is with the lefties losing their minds is that they have wanted just the deep state and 100% political agenda through and through. So you have to be born and bred in the government in their eyes in order to have a job like this. And that is exactly why lefties lost the election. And that's exactly why Trump won, because it's time to shake up the establishment. It's time to shake up the status quo.
Straight from Central Casting, Dr. Oz. And he's not the only one. Trump stacking his administration with people that he believes look the part. He's already named Fox host Pete Hegseth for Defense Secretary, Fox host Sean Duffy for Transportation Secretary. And none of that is a surprise in this context, because Trump does put a premium on having what he sees as the look.
Okay. Look, lady, you even got hired on CNN because you had a look. I mean, again, it's like these lefties, they don't understand that there is a certain look to things. But the thing about Trump that's so different than the lefties who are losing their minds is that they actually do back up the look with credibility, with common sense, with the ability and know-how to get things done.
The great Tom Homan, Central Casting, right?
Tom Homan is total Central Casting. When I look at that guy, it's like the best movie that you've ever seen. You're like, oh yeah, that's the guy. But again, he backs up the look.
Name one downside on a secure border. What's the downside in less illegal immigration? What's the downside in less fentanyl killer, less sex trafficking of women and children, which is up now 600%? Terrorist watch that's coming across the border. A secure border saves lives. A country can't have strong national security if we don't have border security.
Trump's team is stellar.
He talked up the benefits of hydroxychloroquine as a treatment for COVID-19.
Oh yeah, that's a huge problem, right? To talk about things that could potentially help when people were sick during a pandemic.
A small study that shows statistical significance is a really important observation.
Now, the FDA says hydroxychloroquine is unlikely to be an effective treatment for COVID-19. And
isn't likely. Not that it isn't, or not that it's dangerous. She says that it isn't likely. And by the way, CNN, you've been wrong about a lot of things before. A lot. You remember this?
Horseworm Rogan. I'm glad you're well, man.
Bro, do I have to sue CNN?
I know. Do you?
They're making shit up. They keep saying I'm taking horse dewormer. I literally got it from a doctor. It's an American company.
Mm-hmm.
They won the Nobel Prize in 2015 for use in human beings.
Yeah.
And CNN is saying I'm taking horse dewormer.
You're not allowed to, though. According to CNN and MSNBC, you better just take the jab and then wish for the best. By the way, Erin Burnett, did you know that there have been vax injuries? I know you don't ever want to talk about that, but that's the truth. That is the truth.
The important observation.
Now, the FDA says hydroxychloroquine is unlikely to be an effective treatment for COVID-19. And in this era that we are in, if you happen to doubt the FDA, the Mayo Clinic says it is not recommended for a COVID treatment and notes that studies have shown people who take it are more likely to suffer from heart problems, on top of the fact that it doesn't effectively treat COVID. It's hard to get through all of this because there's so much happening. But let's just start with Dr. Oz. He is going to be overseeing an agency that directly affects 160 million Americans. So, look, take a step back. There's a lot of people who get put into these jobs who haven't overseen much, right? So I'm not going to say the fact that he hasn't overseen something that large is disqualifying in and of itself.
Oh, but only Democrats can do that. Okay, I'm glad that she pointed that out. Only Democrats can not have a position and then have a position, even though that's exactly how the entire world works.
Listening right now, I thought that what was going to be announced was Dr. Phil was going to be the Surgeon General. So at least we're not there yet. But listen, what is happening here is this. We are now in Donald Trump's TV show.
This is why majority of Americans voted for Trump, because we're voting for common sense and we're voting for actual facts. Allow us to have all the information and then we can make our own decisions. We don't need Erin Burnett to make our decisions. We don't need Joe Biden to make our decisions. And that's why Trump won, because he understands the power should be back in the people. You should be able to make your own decisions.
And the reality of it is, though, for Trump, it comes down to central casting. And that's where we get to Elon Musk, who, of course, has been spending so much time with Trump. Today, welcoming the president-elect to Texas to watch the billionaire entrepreneur launch what is the world's largest and most powerful rocket ever built. And what this liftoff gave, and by the way, this is something to celebrate. This is American ingenuity at its best. But what it did today was to give Musk another photo op with the president-elect. And by the way, I mean, look at them there today. If you go on Musk's Twitter account, which it's impossible to avoid because everybody's algorithm is fed with a lot of Elon Musk all day, is filled with pictures of him and Trump from election night. The photos with his family, photos with members of Congress. Most recently, Musk appearing with Trump on a plane to New York with Trump and RFK Jr. They were together.
Are you jealous, Erin? Is that what it is? Are you jealous? Are you jealous that they're all hanging out and having a good time on the jet? Look at RFK Jr. He did not want to eat that McDonald's. No, that's absolutely opposite of everything he stands for. You skip right over the big important thing, which is the shuttle taking off. And yeah, we should celebrate that. It's American ingenuity. But why would he hire Musk, the most intelligent man in the world, so innovative, the richest man in the world? Why in the world would he hire him for the Department of Government Efficiency? I mean, really? And then why would he actually talk to him and communicate with him and hang out with him? That is just absurd. That's not what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to hide everything from the American public. We're not supposed to ever communicate with anybody.
There again, sitting ringside with Trump at that UFC championship. And basically, it's come down to this. If there's a picture of Trump, Musk is not far behind, and the world is taking notice. I mean, look at some of these headlines. President Elon Musk. America elected Donald Trump, and it turns out Elon Musk too. Elon Musk is America's shadow president. Elon Musk set stage to act as Trump's co-president. Elon Musk has a new project, run Trump's government. And the French president, Emmanuel Macron, is expected to invite Trump to visit, right? But guess what else? He's inviting Trump and Musk to come to Paris for a summit.
Oh, Erin, are you so jealous? I think what's happening with the left is that they're getting really jealous. They've always been the party. The Democrats have always been the party that has the genius marketing. They've got all the celebrities. They've got all the cool crowd. I've always thought that. I'm like, man, the Democrats have the coolest people, but their policies are terrible. I was like, Republicans need to up the coolness level. And they have. I mean, this is like some of the coolest stuff I've ever seen. Watching Trump walk into that UFC fight, come on, from the entire audience, from everything. And I think that's what they're most furious about. Democrats say that they're the party of inclusivity and that they're so welcoming and they are so understanding of people, right? No, only of the people that they approve of, only of the people that go with their group think. If you think outside of the box, or if you think for yourself, for that matter, if you have common sense, they don't like you. So for instance, they celebrate people with different challenges or adverse disorders, if you want to call them that. I can't even say disorder anymore because you're not allowed to say that. But, neurodevelopment disorders. They don't want to celebrate Elon Musk, who does this.
T-minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have liftoff. Vehicles pitching downrange. Booster after chamber pressure nominal.
I mean, come on, right, Erin Burnett? I mean, yeah, it's huge. It's ingenious. It's revolutionary. It's a big win for the United States of America. But who cares about all that? Why in the world would Trump pick this guy? I mean, really, what are we thinking, right, Erin Burnett? And the fact that he's hanging out with him and talking with him, one of the super geniuses of the world. Why? They can't celebrate the fact that here is a man with Asperger's. That's a terrible name, by the way, for that. I've known some people with it too. Wonderful people. Just a terrible name for this neurological disorder. That's hard to say. But Elon Musk has Asperger's, right? But they don't want to celebrate that. And the fact that he's accomplished all of this, I mean, it's really quite incredible. He's a really amazing human being. This is the type of neurological disorder that's celebrated with Democrats. Hating all of Trump's cabinet picks. I mean, it doesn't matter who it is. If it was Jesus Christ, of course they would have a problem with him. I mean, they would probably hang him again on the cross, right? I mean, this is how they think. Okay, now let's watch more lefties losing it over Trump's stellar cabinet picks. First, let's see Phillip talk down to us and tell us about the position that Tulsi Gabbard will be in. Watch this.
More now on the MAGA makeover coming to Washington, the Director of National Intelligence. That is a very important job. They prepare the president's daily brief, the readout of every clandestine and concerning development happening across the globe. They oversee the 18 spy agencies working to keep you safe. And Donald Trump wants to give the job to Tulsi Gabbard. If you're not familiar, Gabbard is a former Army reservist. She's also a Fox News talking head who, believe it or not, once ran for president, very recently, mind you, as a Democrat.
She put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence. She blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place that impacts poor people in the worst kind of way.
Kamala never recovered.
And tonight on Fox, Gabbard dismissed the concerns gripping the national security community about her getting this gig as the swamp perhaps fights back.
Of course, there's going to be resistance to change from the swamp in Washington. I think that's kind of the point. The American people are saying, hey, stop looking at yourselves. Stop focusing on your own power, your own position, your own bank accounts. How about we have leaders in Washington who are actually looking out for the American people?
Abby can't believe it, right? She cannot believe it. What happened to all that women's empowerment? Oh, Tulsi Gabbard doesn't count, right? Yes, Abby, we can believe that she ran for president. We can believe that she is extremely qualified. We can believe that she is an amazing patriot. We can believe that she was an ex-Democrat. By the way, Elon Musk was also a Democrat. Donald Trump was a Democrat. That's what's wrong with the Democratic Party today, is that they're not understanding why people are leaving them. And this new Republican Party that is actually cool, has great ideas, has great policies, is fun, is actually going to help make America great again. So instead of listening to the lies that the lefties spew about Tulsi being a Russian spy and all this, let's hear the facts from Tulsi herself.
No such thing as wisdom and no such thing as public liberty without freedom of speech. I love our country and I cherish our God-given freedoms that are enshrined in the Constitution. Like every one of you, I took an oath, both as a soldier and as a member of Congress, to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Jamie Metzel, he is a senior fellow at the Atlantic Council and was previously on the National Security Council staff in the Clinton administration. Jamie, putting aside all the politics around Tulsi Gabbard, whatever happened to qualifications?
I am honored to officially welcome another true American patriot, a 17-year veteran of the Hawaii Army National Guard, a 4-term Democrat congresswoman, very, very popular, the former vice chair of the National Democratic Party and a 2020 Democrat candidate for the United States presidency. You know, she was a very good candidate. Every time she ran, she was good. She did well. She decided to leave. She couldn't take it anymore, but she is very special. And I didn't know this, but she was a lieutenant colonel. That's not bad. Lieutenant colonel, not bad. I didn't know that. You know, I just found out. I said, put it down. You got to put that down. That's bigger. That's better than all the other stuff I read. But no, she's a special person. She's got great common sense, great spirit. She loves our country, and she loves the people in this room. Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi, please.
Whatever happened to qualifications for a job that is actually a very technically important job?
Obviously, qualifications are important. Obviously, this is a critically important job for the United States, for keeping us safe. This job, the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, was created after 9/11 because we realized we were not safe because we didn't have serious people doing a serious job of integrating all of the data and information that was coming in through our intelligence agencies. She has no real background for this job.
Like, God, Tulsi, what made you such a conservative, or what made you such a this or a that? How did you, and this is one that I often get, is how did you go from, you know, endorsing Bernie Sanders in 2016 to writing a book about everything that's wrong with the Democrat elite today and why you left the Democratic Party? And if you just look at like the top lines, it doesn't make sense. But when you actually look at, you know, for me, the reason why I've made the decisions that I've made in politics, why I've taken the positions that I've taken, there's a very strong through line there that hasn't changed, that's rooted in the Constitution, that's rooted in doing my best to try to hold our leaders to account for the oath that they took when they entered that political office.
And I think that's why they hate her. That, and because she crushed Kamala in that debate when she ran for president. She's smart. She's beautiful. She knows what she's talking about, and they can't have that. That is not okay. The government is supposed to tell us what to do, what to think, how to walk, who to be friends with.
Tulsi Gabbard nomination is a pro-war nomination globally. Point blank, period.
Americans are afraid to speak freely, afraid to express themselves, afraid to actually have real open dialogue and debate, afraid of losing their job, being canceled, or being accused of a crime, trying to control what we, the people, are allowed to see and say under the guise of protecting us from so-called misinformation or disinformation.
Tulsi Gabbard is amazing. she is absolutely a powerhouse, and she's another great cabinet pick. What do you think?
We are now in Donald Trump's TV show. And, you know, this is the world we're living in now. He is casting the characters that he wants to play in his administration. And the point behind this is actually a serious one. They're not just good-looking people. They're very effective communicators who actually are recognizable to the American public. If you think about why Donald Trump thinks he won this election, it's because he was able to have a consistent message. People listen to him. He is recognizable, and he was palling around with people like Elon Musk. He is putting people in these positions that people know and that can sell his policies. So whatever he does, there are going to be people who are able to go out into the manosphere, into podcasts, on cable news, and talk about it in a way that people will relate to. And I think that's what he's up to.
That's a very truthful thing. Yes, he's up to common sense policies, and then he gets people that are behind those policies, very smart, intelligent, and good looking. She didn't fail to mention that, because they're jelly, right? They're a little bit jealous, I think. But yeah, that's how it works. You pick highly intelligent, smart, capable people, and hey, if they're good looking, even better, right? I mean, that's how anything is done, really. And I mean, not that only good looking people can be hired, but it just so happens that he does have a really good looking team. And again, they hate him for that. Like I said, they've always had Hollywood backing them. They've always had the whole mainstream media. So they've been the cool kids. And now they're like, wait, we're the bullies. We're the cool kids. Why are we getting kicked out? This is not fair. They had spokespeople. They had beautiful people trying to sell Kamala's policies. It just didn't work as well because they had people like this, and we don't trust.
Guys, 1 second. I need patience over here. Patience, where are you, girl?
Yeah, we didn't have patience for that. We just didn't. I mean, Cardi B, you're a good dancer. You're really pretty. You can rap well. I don't know about the lyrics. Okay, but some good beats. But yeah, we just don't have patience for that when we're voting for somebody who's going to run the entire country and can affect the world. No, we want people who can go off script. Kamala couldn't even go off script. We want people who can speak intelligently, off script, off the cuff, because it comes from the heart and they know what they're talking about. But the lefties don't get that. So there's a lot of other cabinet picks that Trump has made that are absolutely amazing. Tom Homan is amazing. Vivek Ramaswamy, amazing. There's other adjectives I could use, but I'll just keep saying amazing. Stellar time for America. I feel like Trump can't get in office fast enough. What do you think? If you're getting value from this video, please do subscribe. It really does help voices like mine, because according to the left, the only women that should be empowered are women who are getting abortions. But women who are up to things and trying to do things and hustling out there and actually not just trying to sit back and scream women's empowerment are not the people being championed. So if you subscribe to this channel, I will be very grateful. And then I won't call you a misogynist. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't call you that. Thanks for stopping by the Hutchinson House. I'll see you next time. If you want to watch the Tulsi Gabbard pick, watch this because they're freaking out over that. Oh, and if you really want to see Tom Homan in action and you're wondering why they're freaking out over him and why he looks like central casting, then watch this video. You got choices.